Is your compost stinky, or is it attracting animals to your yard that you don't want? Well, don't go anywhere, because today you will learn the 10 things that don't belong in your composter. And number 6 will shock you. Let's begin. Number 1, and for some of you, this will be a surprise. You should never compost citrus peels. Let me explain. Citrus peels can raise the acidity levels in your compost, killing all of the microorganisms that are needed to decompose all the materials, in turn slowing down the decomposition process. And also, if you have a composter that is sitting directly on the ground and the worms are able to come into your compost, then the acidity levels and the chemicals in citrus peels can kill the worms. Number 2, no pun intended, but you should never compost your pet manures. This is my standard poodle, Miss Bear, and she's 5 years old, and I would never compost her poop. However, I would compost her hair when she gets a trim. This is my sulcata tortoise, Donatello, and he is 8 years old. I would never compost his poop even though he is a herbivore, because it contains bad bacteria and parasites that can infect my garden, especially salmonella. If you have a farm and you have plenty of space to have a good old-fashioned compost pile that heats up to 170 degrees to kill all the bacteria, all the pathogens, then of course you can compost horse, cow, rabbit, and chicken poop. Number 3, you should never compost dairy items, including eggs. Have you ever opened an expired milk carton? Do you remember that smell? If you compost any dairy items, including eggs, your backyard will smell rotten, and you don't want your backyard to smell like a landfill. And it will attract insects and animals to your yard that you don't want. Number 4, you should never compost grass clippings that are treated with herbicides or pesticides. Grass clippings are a great source of nitrogen to your garden, and you don't need much of it. Herbicides will stay in your compost, and at some point they will wash away. However, there are some herbicides that stay in your soil forever. They are known as forever chemicals, and they are also very dangerous to our health. Some herbicides will stunt the growth of your garden, and whenever you purchase compost or soil, make sure it's coming from a reliable source. If you use grass clippings that were sprayed with pesticides directly in your garden, then it will kill all of the worms, all the bad and good insects that are needed to have a well-balanced organic garden that is good for your health and the health of the ecosystem. Number 5, onion and garlic peels. Garlic and onions have similar chemicals as citrus. They change the pH balance of the compost bin that kills worms and also kills off the necessary microorganisms for decomposition. However, garlic works miracles in our bodies by killing viruses, bad bacteria, infections, and parasites. By the way, give this video a thumbs up to let YouTube know that you enjoy this type of content. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet, so you don't miss my weekly videos. If you have any questions about composting, let me know in the comments. Alright, so here we are at number 6. Never ever compost cooked or uncooked pasta and rice. Have you ever heard that you should consume rice and pasta within a couple of days? Rice and pasta harbor bad bacteria, and once cooked, bacteria starts to multiply very rapidly. Even if you heat it in the microwave, it will not kill the bacteria. Believe it or not, I've read that people got severely ill or even died by reheating pasta and rice multiple times. Rice and pasta, cooked or uncooked, should be discarded in the garbage. Number 7, You should never compost bread, fish, or meat scraps, or cooked foods. Bread and compost produces a very distinct smell that will attract rodents and raccoons and other animals that you don't want. And I do love watching funny raccoon videos, and I think they're really cute. However, I really don't want them in my backyard because they will pick a fight with my dog. Number 8, do not compost leaves from black walnut, horse chestnut, beech, oak, and holly leaves. These leaves decompose very slowly because of an organic polymer called lignin. The black walnut has a chemical called juglone that is detrimental to your garden because it stunts the germination and growth of other plants. A toxin called esculin in horse chestnut will even make you sick if you ingest it in large quantities. Number 9, you should never compost diseased or infected plants or weeds with seed heads. All of the seeds, fungal diseases, pathogens, and bugs get destroyed when the temperature reaches 170 degrees, and it's a process called cooking the compost. 170 degrees for 1 week. I wish I had chickens because chickens will eat all of the food scraps that you cannot compost. They would eat all of the bugs from your plants, and they are just a great garden companion. Our last item on this list is number 10, and you should never compost glossy or shiny paper, materials that are labeled biodegradable or compostable. Glossy and shiny paper has a layer of plastic on top, and you don't want that plastic in your garden. Every day we are bombarded by plastic, and it's everywhere. Did you know that there's microplastics floating inside your body right now? Avoid plastic as much as you can. If you buy single-use cups and plates and you see a compostable or biodegradable label on them, that doesn't mean you can throw them in your compost. Those items will not break down in your compost. Composting at home is such a great way to reduce waste in landfills. Watch this video next, and I will show you how you can start composting indoors with a do-it-yourself composter. Turn your kitchen scraps into a rich compost that you can use in your houseplants or in your garden. Thank you for watching. Until next time, my gardening friends.